2, 1. Screen flickers on once more, showing the title screen of Saga Sylvonia. Load Saga?
Yes.
Delete game.
I have a save file in USB and I restore it.
Yeah, save data restored.
Damn.
Yeah, you switch to the loading screen where all your sprites are just standing there. They're not dancing like they usually do. They're just standing there. Continue Saga.
Yes.
It zooms into the screen once again, flying through the library, coming to the familiar hooded figure with this wrapped hands and face, glowing eyes and glowing smile, looking up as everyone arrives. Welcome back. I trust the last story wasn't too much for everyone. You finished going through the Roval Pass. Met yourself a traveling merchant and promised her a spot on an airship. You've made your way to the temple and fought the guardian of the Roval Pass. A rather large drake with dangerous claws and even more dangerous flames. Having just finished defeating the Guardian, collecting the spoils before the body dissolves away, the party opens up the doors to the temple, and your guide, as everyone steps through, wishes you luck in the trials to come. As the door shut upon everyone, and when your vision came back, each one of them faced a personal trial. Facing with their doubts, their fears, or their unanswered questions. And that's where we come back to the story. After everybody has finished their trials, or maybe is it a little bit before? Bookkeeper opens up the book. The pages flowing by until the camera zooms in on the pages. In a realm that teeters on twilight, there lies a battlefield. Skeletons of people perished along paths, clad in many different styles of armor, wielding vast arrays of weaponry. On one side of the battlefield radiates heat, a bit of a volcano in the distance, while on the other side of this battlefield, water laps at the shores. In the middle of this all, there's a platform shaped from stone and bone, where several figures stand. Olivia, you're there. There. You're standing next to Morgan, and the other two are Arcanum. You've already gone through this trial already, facing your fears and doubts. Though in your case, it was on accident.
Absolutely. I wouldn't want this in my wildest dreams.
Yeah, the chosen that you have guided, eh, they were made to go through these trials. Morgan, Empress, and Umiriel, well, they're watching these trials through something just out of your view. To, you might as well give future companions some privacy, Morgan had said to you.
Fair enough. It's the least I can offer. And Olivia will she'll step away and begin to pray. More so for their safety and that they make it to the other side.
Yeah. These are these are the ones that she has chosen. Oh, well, we are not ones who can question whom she has chosen. It's it, Ignis and Umriel are conversing. Morgan still looking into this disc or screen or whatever.
Olivia will speak up, though she'll do so cautiously. Pardon the Pardon me, but I would like to say, in the small bit of time I've spent with this group, I might be starting to understand why she chose them. They may be an interesting bunch, but they're not so quick to falter. Forgive my disrespect. And she'll kind of like bow her head.
Yeah. Ignis, the flaming wolf of the volcano, or I'm just kind of just barks out a laugh. Yeah. Sorry.
You're fine.
Yeah, well, that's maybe what you've gotten from the time that you've spent among them as Morgan's chosen. But seeing how they've reacted, and Uriel speaks up, the large sea turtle with the runic carvings on her shell. It is a little concerning from what we have seen. One of them, facing her fears and doubts, she just went into crazy denial, just despairing. And that samurai is doubts and regrets just stunned him to silence. So it could be that it could lead him to thinking of certain things.
In the end, they are no more than human, mortal, same as I once was. We're not as fragile as you might think.
Morgan gives a nod of her head. leaning back in a non-existent chair on her wispy ghost tail. You are right. I mean, some of them do have a bit of spine to them. Although how much spine that they have. Hmm. The young one, she tried to break free of the trial, what she was facing. Though it could be that it was something that she just couldn't felt me believe in. But in the end, she did. Her fears and doubts did start taking her. And then there's the princeling. He did stand strong. However, he showed a lack of self-preservation. Even with no context, he acted more as a soldier, not someone that would be a leader. And then, where's the? And then there's the Elster. Faced with all those questions, and she just had no reaction. No, nothing about her lack of self, not knowing anything of who she is or what she is. Sadly, that said, these are the ones that she has chosen. All we can do is give guidance like we have into the countless others that were before. The demons are the ones that must be stopped first and foremost. And if she believes that these are the ones that can do it, then who are we to question her?
There's a smile that appears on Olivia's face, one that hasn't been there in quite some time. If anyone can do it, I believe Lady Morgan may be correct. I do believe this group can make a difference here. Give them time. They'll be here shortly.
Or just gives a smile, reaches down, pats you on the head. Well, I certainly hope so. I am sending my first champion in a long while to join these chosen. And I believe you've been expecting to join alongside them as well. I mean, she just kind of points at the spear that you've picked up. The Morgaine.
Of course. If it pleases you, Lady Morgan, I would very much enjoy that, yes.
I was going to send you along with them anyways. That's it. You want to know a little trick?
Yep.
She'll point at the spear, and then at your sheathed sword. Just sheath it in that.
You see Olivia kind of tilt her head before making an attempt to do so.
at first you don't really see anything happening because you're just like, how do I sheath this spear into a sheath that's already filled? And then after a couple confusing seconds, the spear will sink into it, and then it will fully go into that sheath, and some extra runes will kind of flicker onto the moon of that sheath that you have the great sword in.
There's a brief moment where it looks as though Olivia is about to question what um Morgan has done, but then she just stops and just kind of looks at the and just kind of looks at it for a moment. And then she'll just nod before she puts it away.
Now, your blade can only take in one extra weapon into it at a time. So if you find something better than a spear that I used to use, well, you can unsheath the spear from it and replace it.
I see. Was much better than carrying the two. I'll admit it was quite cumbersome.
Plus, you're more familiar with a sword than a spear. And above table, basically your sword is still your main weapon, but you can use the spear instead without having to actually change what weapon you're using, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So I don't have to.
Basically, you've transmogged your sword over the spear.
Yeah, totally down with that. like Olivia said, it's much better than trying to carry both at the same time. That would suck. That would just absolutely suck. Oh, you forgot to play her theme?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Eventually, a dark door will show up on the battlefield and slowly start to open. Ah, I see that they have finished.
I told you. They could do this.
And for the rest of you, y'all see a door opening up in the darkness, and you see that there's the rest of everybody again, and you have no idea where you are. You just see this battlefield, a volcano off in the distance on one side, and you can hear waves slapping up against the shore on the other side.
You hear Isaiah crying, "I'm not a demon! I'm not a demon!"
Briar's just kind of silently squeezing Bugabud like her life depends on it. Not now, bud. Just not now.
He's just gently pawing your face.
She starts squeezing a little tighter.
Briar, is that you? Oh my goodness!
Rosé, what happened?
I
Where
don't
are
want to
we?
talk about it. I don't know. I just want to get out of here.
Where is here exactly?
Welcome, friends.
Welcome to a place that few people can say that they've stepped into. The domain of an arcana. 3 of them, in fact.
Okay.
And there's like a sort of platform in the middle of this battlefield where the 3 arcana are at, and Olivia as well.
What do you want with us?
And why did we have to go through all that just to get here?
Well, part of that is one, a little bit of testing of one's mettle, and the other, well, to enter a realm that one put into the afterlife, one might see a version of life flashing through their eyes.
Okay.
There are some that would call us yokai. Though Arcanum are different than the monsters and beasts that have evolved as yokai.
You toy the same.
It does give us a glance into the mettle of those that have been chosen.
Chosen for
Chosen?
what?
Chosen to stop this invasion. Maybe even stop up the full brunt of the demon war altogether.
Briar will kind of just look around and see everybody. I'm not sure if you. I don't know who chose us, but certainly couldn't have been that high of a choice on the list. I mean, I went pale the second I saw Cauldra get invaded. I ain't no demon slayer or chosen hero.
The wolf just kind of scoffs us a bit. Yeah, well, it's what the world has chosen. And who are we to speak against her wishes?
The
Who's the
world is a
world?
person?
The planet herself, of course.
Uh,
But
can I make a
what?
history check on religions? Do people worship the world?
You can give me an insight.
4.
Oof.
I will Fabula point.
Ready?
12.
Alrighty. So on a 12, there are some people that may worship the world itself, but religion isn't a big topic in Ionia. Instead, it's more researching things.
What with that role, can I get what's the common church of Ionia and in general?
Uh, hmm.
Like, what do they worship?
Zax, do you want to chime in on that one?
Yes, I can. And if necessary, I'll spend a Fabula point to make this canon. Ionians are a practical people. Pragmatic. One of the accusations made against our society, even by some of our own philosophers, is that we use the world around us in an attempt to control it and master it. We don't worship the world. Ionians, some do, but it's not the main goal of life. The main goal of life for most Ionians is to learn something new so that the world can be better for all of us and all of the things around us. The world's been given to us by gods, by luck, by chance. Those aren't answers we have. But what we do have is a drive for knowledge and to use this world and its resources responsibly. In some places in Ionia, that's necessary because there's so little. Heat is highly valued. Power, not political or social power, but technological power, the ability to move things, to heat things, is very valuable to us because it's a very cold kingdom in places. Downright temperate in others, but still. Food there is something that we need to carefully watch for and balance with the goats and the fishes that surround Ionius. So do we worship the world? No. The world hasn't given us anything. We've had to be tough. We've had to forge these things. We've had to build them. We've had to sculpt the towers that exist. We've had to build all of these weapons, oftentimes by hand. And we mastered Magitech so that we could make use of the flows of energy in the world around us. So do we worship anything? I think that Ionians are more concerned with being worthy of those things that exist, rather than
Is the
I
world
have something.
go on?
You meddle in moral affairs like toddlers playing with blades you do not understand. You called me kinslayer. You know nothing of our bond, of our blood, or the burden we carry. I spared his life. I chose mercy over vengeance and paid for it in flesh and spirit. If I am haunted, it is by honor betrayed, not by a crime I did not commit. And I will not make that mistake again. So call me what you want, yokai. But know this. Kinzo Kyosai bows to no ghost, no god, and no lie.
I had no hand in whatever you saw. That was just pulled on the doubts, fears that one has.
So was it real?
No,
Certainly
Well,
it
felt
all
real.
comes from. And she just kind of just kind of taps at your head. All in there. Do things have a bit of truth within them, or do they not?
You hide behind riddles and masks. I know trickery when I see it.
Anyway, so what now? What do you want?
How do we not know that you are in on it? That you are part of the invasion?
Because I was there when the invasion first happened. Back when the tree had first fallen and mana first came into the world. You could
What
call
tree?
mana the blood of the world.
What tree are you
What?
talking about?
The one whose branches keep covering the sky at night.
What are you talking about?
I think they're talking about the tree that my master used to talk about, though I don't exactly remember the particulars.
There was a time when that tree did not exist. When mana magic did not exist in this world. The tree he came, smashed into the world, and pierced deep into the core, wounding the world itself. Of course, we didn't know at the time, and we were coming to learn and practice this magic that was new to this world, while also making friends with the people that had come with the tree. The Elsteer. And her gaze just turns to look at Etesian.
Now, are you looking at me because trees are green and my hair's green? Is that offensive? I had to make the joke. I'm just kind of making it awkward, looking like, what are you looking at me for? I'm not an alien.
Yeah. Let me raw all the turtle is the one that speaks up. Yeah, you are more right than you know.
Is he a turtle? Because they're green too.
Yeah. And it's a large sea turtle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought that's what you
Arcanum
said.
of the coast.
Oh. Well, pleased to make your acquaintance. It's great being green, isn't it?
When there's enough kelp and such around. But yes, dear, you are a so-called alien.
Who told you
And
this
else-
information? I'm gonna lean. It's like, who told you this information?
Well, the fact that you share the same similarities as the other Elsteer. Minus the missing memory.
Oh, well, no.
The fact that your body can't naturally hold its own mana.
Yeah. I mean, I know I'm an alien, but I can't let other people know I'm an alien. They'd think I'm weird and, like, creepy and, like, I don't know, man. This doesn't seem like a good idea. Don't tell anybody.
There was a time when your people from the tree were there were more of you around. They brought out technology that we altered with the new magic in the air. We created the first magitech together.
Really, we did that? Huh. As you
Well,
said,
your people brought the basis because they couldn't use magic even when magic was filling the air from the tree. It was only through technology that they could use magic.
interesting.
Or at the very least, facsimiles of it. And as we would later find, when the first Arcanum were created, such as myself, they show a high affinity for being conduits for Arcana. Such as that thunderous bird whose spirit echoes around you.
Do you know why I lost my memories, Mr. Turtle?
The turtle just shakes her head. I do not know. It could be maybe you were in some sort of held stasis. Maybe you fell from one of the branches.
Like from a tree? Hit my head, you mean?
I don't know. We're Arcanum. We're not gods. If it was something to do with the coast, I might have some inkling. But outside my domain, I can only be sure of so much.
It's worth a shot, I suppose. Ask questions.
Morgana just speaks up again. Just, Etesian, you are from beyond, and you are part of the people that first came to our world with the tree. Womp womp.
I wonder if I can get back to my home planet. You know, it's the craziest thing. I'm not even 100% sure when I came here. Isn't that weird, Mr. Turtle? Or how I came here. Did I come on a ship? Did I fly on a way? I don't know.
wouldn't. Could be that you were part of the first batch of people from the tree. Maybe you're one of their descendants. Although most of said descendants are still in Mysteria, fighting their daily war.
This is a great deal of knowledge that we're being gifted with.
Oh wait, you heard all that? Oh, so you know I'm an alien? If you don't know I'm an alien, I'm not an alien.
I'm not
Back
sure
in
what we
Ionia.
know.
There are still temples to the ancient gods. Like, well, this mystery essence of the coast, for example. We still keep these temples, although they're very rarely visited now. We are a pragmatic people, and we keep these temples maintained, just in case we are very, very wrong. There's a lot more out there in this world that is yet to be explored and known. Many layers, both in the sea and beneath, and all the way to the stars. I often think of my conversations with the Exarch on these matters. There might even be things in the stars that we have yet to see, places we have yet to go. A great saga of exploration from beginning to end, until we know what we need to complete the saga. But for now, we're all here for a reason. And whether these arcanum are leading us in a particular direction, or whether we choose, or both, I believe that we all have a place beyond questioning our essences. We need to strive forward with the best that we are, and achieve the best for the rest of the world. And to do that, we need to explore deeper. We need to go further. We need to talk with entities like Morgan, like Meridia, and like our ancient friend Gerard. We need to keep moving in order to achieve the knowledge and the essence of our place within the world, and to stand tall. And when the time comes, to choose a direction, to point, and to lead to something better. I think it starts here. I think it starts with every single moment and every single breath we take. Sometimes we need to remind ourselves of that. And that's where adventure begins. That's where adventure begins.
I can see why the world chose you. Do you want, since you are interested in knowledge, you want to know an interesting little tidbit? It's more as you kind of leans down.
So does the group know I'm an alien now, or is that like, was that a private conversation? As like with me and the
We're
turtle,
all
like
together. We are that.
Yeah, everybody's together.
now I gotta kill you all. Great, son of a bitch. They're gonna dissect me like on fucking X-Files or something.
Yeah, well, you also heard that aliens aren't new.
Yeah, but
There
still.
might be a bunch of them in Mysteria.
I mean, did everybody
Okay, but
heard Rosea crying that she's not a demon?
It sounds like you all have one massive group hug and group huddle that you're gonna have to do when this is all over to dissect what the fuck just went down. Y'all just got several bombshells dropped in each other's laps. I wish you all luck.
So what are you going to tell us?
X-Files or the Outer Limits.
If I may, Arcanum,
Yes.
my master, he talked of this tree that I believe you're talking about. I think it's the same one. Do you know him by any chance?
She pauses for a moment, pulls out some sort of disc that she peers into, and you get the feeling that she's looking through the trial that you went through again. And she just kind of pauses at the scene where you saw your master. It just smiles and chuckles a bit. Uh, he he's still holding on to the physical realm, even after these thousands of years.
So you do know him, did you say
Well,
thousands of years?
like I said, Arcanum didn't exist it for a time. Instead, we created ourselves. You've probably heard of the Sorcerer Kings and Queens of Eld. I'm sure your master might have mentioned something of the sort as well.
If he did, I don't exactly remember particulars, but I know I wandered into one of their tombs alongside the rest of them, the rest of my group.
Whose tomb did you go into?
Whose was that again? I'm trying to remember.
I can't remember either. I don't think y'all ever knew. Y'all never learned, I don't think.
I know it was a sorcerer king. I just don't
Yeah.
remember the specifics. Uh, I, the name doesn't. The name didn't stick. If there was one, I just know that it was one of them sorcerer kings.
Mm,
Um, Rose and Randall are a lot better with the whole remembering history thing than I am. I'd argue all of them are probably better at recalling things than I am. I was sheltered during the war and only left on the road a couple of years back while the rest of them have all this experience fighting, working for the military and flying airships. I'm just some orphan kid who stumbled out of a forest after her people decided that it was no good hanging around magic creatures.
well, don't sell yourself too short. World chose you for a reason. Could be your heart. Could be a strength you don't know that you have yet. Could be something that you already have. I'm not going to say that I know what the world has in store for you, but she must have chosen you for a reason. Maybe you have a key that will finally end this war altogether.
Even my master, for as old as you say he is, was only able to hide a forest instead of winning the war by itself. I can't imagine I could do better than that.
Look, we may be strong, but we aren't all powerful.
I am.
Oh, I know that you are. Your people are the ones that built the golems.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder if I could still do that.
So wait a
Huh.
minute. Not only are they aliens with all that stuff about the tree, they're also the ones who made those big golems.
Yes. They had to do something to help protect the planet when the first demons showed. First iteration of golems, they were actually able to pilot themselves. Though as the years passed, we helped them to develop a way to continue fighting after they passed on, leading to the next generation of golems, where a living person didn't have to be inside there to pilot. Their soul could be there, or maybe just an echo of their soul. And
Ryder
so
just
they
kind of start holding her head between her hands, clearly having a hard time processing all this information.
sorry. Seems you weren't ready to understand that information.
Right, that's what that demon and the two witches took from the golem was the soul. You think?
They they were probably trying to figure out how to replicate it, maybe interfere in themselves.
I don't know.
I know that they've been working on something.
You know who
I
they are?
do not like the concept of these machine golems having souls. They would live in a completely different environment from us, see the world differently. That makes them very dangerous, even more dangerous than their physical power.
So if we really were chosen by the world or whatever, I'm still not gonna understand the full context of that. What exactly are we meant to do? And why are you guys involved?
I think a easy way to put it is to stop the suffering of the world. The demons, things that they're doing, it hurts the world. Eh, exacerbating the wound that the tree calls. I don't know what their goal is. But whatever it is that they're doing, it's continuously hurting the world. Might
That's
even eventually kill her. If anyone's seen the state of Mysteria, they know about how just about all the life in the land has been sucked dry. There's always a bad ending.
What do you mean?
Sorry, I was just responding to Zach's there. If there's a bad ending. The world has chosen y'all in the hopes that you will be able to fully stop the demons this time. At the very least, you can stop this current invasion.
How do we stop it?
Shit. Well, the demons operate off of a leader structure. The low level demons can't really operate on their own. They have to be given orders to follow. Take out all the ones that can deliver the orders. And the demons won't be able to do anything anymore.
Do you know what the speaker's crystal is?
Yes, it is something that those who aren't Elstier can use to talk with the Arcanum, to talk with souls. Because that's all. That's what we are in the end of things.
Are you
We're
aware that
souls.
in order to negotiate peace when they invaded Caldra, we sacrificed the speaker's crystal to halt their invasion? We gave it to them.
Where goes quiet as she thinks on this. Hmm. You said that they had taken a core out of a golem.
Yeah, or something. We don't know what they took. They were doing something with the golem. They had a sack, and they were near the golem. They removed something from the golem. We know that much.
Hmm.
If they can speak to the golems using the speaker's crystal, they could raise an army, assuming that the speaker's crystal speaks to them as well. At one time, The golems were of great assistance in stopping the previous demon invasion. We assumed that they came from Mysteria. It's entirely possible they came from the world. But they weren't completely controlled by any military and had their own purpose, their own soul, if you will.
The souls that are in the golems are the Elsteer.
That changes a lot of things.
What exactly are they if that's not it?
So what are they going to use the Arcanum for? Do you have any idea? Or the Speaker's Crystal?
They might. Now, this is just a theory, but they might be trying to take a soul out of the core to put someone else's soul in there.
Why would they want to do that?
You tell me if what somebody would do with a weapon that would listen to them.
If what you're describing is true, they could become the weapon.
Yes. Though the demons can't use the golems. Demons naturally have no souls in them. Maybe that's why they're using people now.
What do you mean?
Essences
those
beyond
the
individual
witches.
beings have been allied with creatures before. That was clearly the case with Gerard, Emeridia, and no doubt others. Arcanum have allied themselves in this way. Are the Arcanum reflections of essences, the building blocks of the world?
Not exactly. As I've kind of revealed to Briar, we were once people as well.
Once. But that doesn't answer the question of what the Arcanum are now. Clearly, they've been inactive for a long time.
Well, we were the souls of the powerful sorcerer kings and queens, or just powerful wizards or sorcerers in general. Souls that were powerful enough to uphold a domain. And for the time, the Elsteer were the only ones that could communicate with us. And from them, we had created the speaker crystal so that the people of our world could contact us to use our powers.
Well, I clearly believe that it's more than that. Great essences that are beyond the scope of individual life could have motives of which we are unaware. You say that the world has called us, and called us by differing means. Still, we have the right and perhaps the duty to define ourselves independent of the world.
Well, I mean, whether the world has called us or not, whether we're chosen or not, uh, we're still going to fight the demons. And now we know killing the demon leadership will end the war. So, unless do you have any more information you want to give us?
Well, if you just want to end this war, taking out the current leadership will suffice. If you want to try to end the wars altogether, I suggest go into Mystic area. Learn about because they can tell you about the mana tree.
Okay.
What it stands for to them, and why they are always fighting.
Well, first we have to save as many living beings as we can. Our current mission remains unchanged. Most of them are helpless out there. They don't even know that the demons have invaded. There are whole peoples, like Ionis, that could be in grave danger as we speak. We need to make sure that we follow the plan that's been given to us and been made clear by the actions of the Arcanum and others.
Yeah. Umaro will speak up. If you want to follow where the demons and these witches have gone, they've went past the coast and went across the ocean.
Then we have to leave without delay.
No, they haven't gone to a continent. They've gone to a shrine in the sea. One that has a I think it's a sort of floating city nearby.
That's something that we don't dare approach without all of our forces and strategy gathered.
Do you have naval
Thing.
coordinates?
Naval coordinates. Not exactly sure of coordinates.
Well,
but it's somewhere that lies between Mysteria and Cauldra.
I see. Then give us a landmark and some stars to sail by. We can return there once we're ready.
Well, the thing is, if they are trying to replace the souls and golems, the shrine that lies in the sea carries a fairly powerful golem. Leviathan.
Leviathan?
This could be our chance. We could stop them before they can resurrect Leviathan or do whatever they want to it. And kill some of the leadership while we do it.
So we have a choice to make. Rally all of living beings against the new demon invasion or attempt to stop it ourselves. It's not an easy choice. I have my sense of duty, and we have a message from the new Cauldron Queen. If we should fail, then all would fall into disrepair and ruin.
Well, if we get our airship, if all goes well with that, I said we go after this shrine and stop them from doing Leviathan. Then we can, if we have no pressing matters after that, then we can go to Ionius.
True, but if we are defeated there, then the world has no protectors left. It's not us that even if we are chosen. Think about this. Even if we are chosen, even if we stop the war, it won't stop the demons. That much has become clear in this conversation. Even attacking them directly, violence is not a complete answer, because they'll be possibly reborn. We need to find out about the mana tree as well. We can't go in there believing that we can strike one single blow against something this complex and win and defend the world this way. It's more complicated than that.
I fear if we don't go directly to the shrine, they
Then the
will
future battles
succeed
will
in
become more.
resurrecting Leviathan, and they'll be the ultimate threat.
Yeah.
The seas would be conquered. But all we can do, give spot of guidance.
Well, that's not all we can do. There are a great many beings besides ourselves on the surface of differing lands that would have a lot to say about that. And if we rally them instead of merely ourselves, then we can tackle any problem. After all, it is our duty to inform everyone that the war has begun, rather than to have it take them unaware, regardless of the forces our enemies have. They would be helpless against the initial wave.
It's
But if
been
we give them
days. I have a feeling Ionius knows already.
I'm not so sure. Remember, they sent us as an envoy to Cauldra to repair relations that haven't been merely even spoken of in 50 years. How would they know from Cauldra what's happened?
I don't know. The intel division knows a lot. I don't know.
That's true, but we can't count on that.
Maybe that we're not the only ones that sat. There must be a black ops.
We cannot
When
abandon our duty because of things that
Cauldra
we
was
don't.
invaded, like, how do they not know?
Because we haven't yet told them. Remember, we are the fastest ship in the entire fleet, the specialist ship. Speed and agility and distance. No other ship could have gotten here in time. And it's only been a short time since we've learned of the demon invasion. They're likely still awaiting word from us, completely unaware of what's going on. And I would much rather that it be us that tell them, rather than wait for the entire world to arrive at their doorstep.
I feel
The same would be true of Mysteria as well, but it's certainly better to have our forces fully arrayed and prepared for the coming onslaught, whatever form that onslaught takes. And let's also remember, Rosé, this ship, the Shooting Star, was made and built to hunt large monsters, to prevent them from invading civilized lands of all kinds. So this could be just another hunt there.
I feel if we
Or
head
at
to the
least
shrine now, we'll have a chance of stopping them. If we don't, they get Leviathan.
if we don't, then we have a greater force arrayed than ourselves. I think we're placing too much stock in this little band that we have. We are not the whole and the end all be all, even if we're chosen by the world. We're not enough.
What do you think, Briar?
I'm not really sure I fully grasp the gravity of all this, but if this golem, if this Leviathan is that powerful, even if we get there and try to stop it, well, there's no guarantee we'll actually be able to stop it. And if they have a head start on us, they could have already awoken the thing by now, and we'd just be walking into a death trap.
Okay, what do you think, Kenzo?
Kenzo?
Oh no, Kinzo's dead.
I believe we can't trust anything we've seen.
Should we continue to Ionius to warn everybody, or should we divert to this shrine to stop the Leviathan golem from being resurrected?
That is not up to me. It's not my ship.
Well, I'm curious of your opinion.
I don't know. I can't give you an honest answer.
Huh? Olivia, what do
I
you
don't
think?
know enough yet. I don't know enough. How are these two related? How are the demons and whatever those yokai were related?
They are essences of the world, and perhaps these invaders have seen exactly what these essences are of the world that are trying to defend it. They're trying to claim them, corrupt them, make them their own.
How can you trust their word?
I agree with you. We can't trust anything that we've seen. What we can trust is what we do know, and that I do know that the Ionian military has been preparing for this moment for decades.
Let me
Demons just
point
aren't
out.
where they think they are, and we need to
Let me
reposition their weapons. And it's going to take time.
let me point out that before we even met these spirits, that they put us through some type of trial, and I'm understanding from each of us that we're not talking about it. But from what I gather, it was a nightmare. As such, that's not a good way to make friends. So they did not come to make friends. They did not come for peace. They came to cause mischief,
They
as
came
did
to,
the demons.
and the demons are doing the same thing. They're both doing the same thing. They're testing our character. At the heart of things, we need a sense of firm purpose. Purpose generates power. My Crown Prince brother said that, even though I'm not sure that he believes.
If your ship is truly the fastest, then could we not go to your country first and then come back to the island?
It's entirely possible, yes. And we could rally the fleets and tell them what to watch for. Now that we've seen some of these things in battle, including the demoness Tempestara, and what kind of power those entities currently wield, and that the golems have returned as well, or are likely to, and that the
And
golems might be the main enemy here.
I have been itching to work on a new project. I want to see this airship of yours.
All right then. What do you think, Etesian? Now that we know more of you, what is your role to play in this? That's your cue.
Attention.
Monty?
Artesian, you there, buddy?
I am there, yeah.
Well, what do you think of this?
Oh god. I don't know.
The choice
Yeah, well,
between what is your part to play with these essences, with the world? The choice, perhaps, between rallying the Ionian military against this threat to at least alert two different continents to this threat. Or
well,
should we divert and go to this shrine to try to stop them now,
oh god.
before they awaken and potentially control Leviathan?
Okay, so I have, there's this one we said, but my opinion, how badass do we feel Like, I feel pretty badass. We could do it. But do you guys feel pretty badass? You can do it, like to involve an army and like logistics. What if they don't believe us? I don't know. Involving other people in matters such as this. A lot of times they're like, "Oh, you're crazy, and you don't know. You're just lying to us. You're trying to make us think about it, and they throw you in jail. And next thing you know, you're in some space jail with like a rabbit person and some weird aliens and these three-eyed people, and you know what the hell you're happening to you. I say we do it ourselves. We can trust ourselves. We know our own strengths. Get what I mean?
Hmm.
I wish I had that alien confidence.
Olivia will just look to Morgan and kind of tilt her head. They seem to be at an impasse. Might I? Hmm. She'll look to Atesian. You claim you feel like a badass. Does that mean you feel that you'll be able to convince an army? If not,
No,
perhaps
fuck,
I
no,
could.
fuck the army. I'm not saying don't. They'll probably put us in some sort of weird jail and I'll get dissected. No, involve as few people in this as possible.
That would leave many lives, innocent lives, suddenly confronted with the demon invasion without preparation. As captain of the Shooting Star and as a nobleman of Ionius, I cannot allow that to happen. We must not allow that to happen.
And
There
you must not
any?
allow me to get it like dissected on a slab table by some science people.
Olivia will look at Atesian and she'll kind of raise a finger. This is a bit of that commander class in her, just like kind of shushing for a moment.
Who are you to give me orders, huh? Roll for initiative. I'm slap. I'm
She'll
through
just
the
sigh. I've
window,
been doing that the entire time.
and I've not been listening. I don't accept orders.
If you need someone to potentially give some credibility to your mission, might I come along? Perhaps Lady Morgan can offer me a means of validation to inspire these men you wish to prepare.
Nah.
I would think
But
an Arcanum might win favor over a creature from another world. Forgive my
creature,
tone.
bro, creature. Oh my god. Okay, we're now that's racist. Okay, we're fighting straight up. I'm doing some non-lethal damage. Like we're going. You insulted my honor, sir.
If you attack
No,
her, she's just going to stand there and stare at you, because you likely
Bro,
won't do enough damage to put her anywhere near crisis.
stop.
that's not the plan. I was just gonna slap her. I don't,
Both of
first thing,
you, stop. We are in the presence of an essence of the world. We cannot argue amongst ourselves. It's unseemly.
like that. There you go.
In my defense above table, Olivia's hardly even arguing. She's just stating facts right back at him.
My decision is made. I have a duty. I have a loyalty to the royal family and to the Ionian throne, and through that, to the people thereby. Our mission is clear, and our missive from the Queen of an entirely different confederation of many different races sends us back home. We need to alert those innocent people before the fight comes to them. Anything else is pride and arrogance by a small handful of us who believe that simply because we know a greater truth, that we are a substitute for an army. We are not. we are not the main characters in some stage play. We have a part, a role to play, yes, but there are greater forces than we. We need to rouse them. We need to gather them. We need to be prepared. And not in our way, but in defense of those people who at this moment cannot defend themselves because they don't know what's coming. We've seen it. They haven't.
And on that, we agree.
You may continue to make valid points. If there are any, then we bring them in, and discuss them. And that includes anyone who is a part of my crew. However, once we are aboard the Shooting Star, I will have command. I want you to understand this. For the safety of the ship, crew, and the mission that you will agree to.
Olivia will look to Lady Morgan before
means-
looking back to you, kind of like, I guess, like a look of requesting approval.
This may be difficult for some of you, impossible for some. But if you cannot understand or believe in my individual command, then at least believe in the mission. If you plan on coming along and fulfilling that mission, then you will have my entire crew to defend you as well. You have my word.
I don't exactly know what my part to play in all this is, but I do know that if I just keep sitting around and being afraid and questioning, it's not gonna become clear. So if our goal, if our mission is to take out these demons, and that involves going to your people to warn them and to many others, for what it's worth, me and Bugabutter are with you.
Kenzo wants to be an adventurer and to take a look at altering the Shooting Star. Well, you'll have to talk to our chief engineer about that. Well, that leaves you, Atesian. What do you think? As long as you're aboard my ship, you're an important part of this crew, and you've seen things and have access to the third continent that we need to gather information from. And that's more important than anything that Ionius could learn about you. Amnesia or not. And since I am a nobleman, and a member of the royal family, there are very few that can override me. And if they try, then that would create difficulty within the country itself. They know this. And besides, the military is apart from the noble family. So I have a foot in both camps. And even though it pains me, I can rally some very powerful people to defend you, if need be. Rosea, I know that you would disagree with me on this. But there are far more people, and you know full well, the true power of Magitech in determined hands.
What am I disagreeing on?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
What am I disagreeing on?
You're disagreeing upon the mission that we should take.
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, I said my piece, and you're the captain, so just as long as my voice gets heard, that's all I ask.
Well, I want to make sure that your voice is heard fairly and not overruled simply because I'm the captain. That's not how my ship works. That's not how the exploratory corps works. We need all eyes in all directions. After all, you might be right, but we need to determine that by testing it. I simply believe that the greater forces are far beyond our capabilities, and we need to gather them. That's going to
Well,
make a far greater difference in far shorter of a time, simply because far more minds can begin working on the problem, and far more duty hands on far more airships than just the shooting star. We're the exploratory ship, we're the Fasten. And I turn to Kenjo when I say this, but that does not mean anything to the dreadnoughts of the fleet.
well, like I said, I just fear that if we go to Ionis, we won't have enough time to stop the Leviathan. We'll regret it later.
No doubt we will, but it's better to have one enemy that to their advantage against an entire continent's navy. I think those are fair odds, more than fair odds, not merely because we have the weaponry, but because we have the adaptability to overcome that challenge or die trying. If we don't give them that chance, all could be lost.
Okay.
I hope you see the reason in this.
I do, and that's why you're the captain. I know you said you don't want to run your ship that way, but I like that my voice is heard. But at the end, it's your decision. You're the commander.
That is true. So I turn to the rest of the group. If you will accompany me aboard the Shooting Star and take on the mission that we've been given, not only by our envoy into Cauldra, but the missive from the new queen of Cauldra, then, well, we need to get through the rest of this dungeon so that we can get aboard her and get moving back home to rally a navy.
Why don't we ask the Arcanum what they think we should do next? I mean, they're here. Might as
I
well ask them.
Why do we care what they think?
They seem nice so far. I know it was a nightmare trial, but I don't know. Maybe they're the reason.
They said that we've been chosen. I'm still not clear what that means. That we've been chosen to stop this war or stop the future invasions? Whatever the case,
Well, they're
I
still here.
don't
We can
believe
ask them.
that but I don't believe it's that simple. And I don't even think it's their place to answer, simply because we are being given the choice. And those nightmares you speak of, I believe that that's a test of character. My character was equally tested in its own way. And I learned very quickly, that the cornerstone of what I am is not only duty. Duty's only part of the answer. King and even country may need to be abandoned in order to do the right thing, to stand up for who we are and not simply what we are. That day may come, but today is not that day. We still have yet to investigate and to explore, well, to explore Ionius, to explore the heart and the character of our own people. And if they're anything like the inhabitants of my ship and crew, including the rest of you, then we'll have a much greater chance by simply going home and alerting them to the danger that comes. But I do have one small worry. That should be discussed aboard ship. Who's with us?
Olivia will extend her hand for yours, Captain.
Then welcome
As
aboard.
if use me as you see fit. My skills and my blades are yours.
Indeed.
We're enemies.
That
Well,
gets you a death glare, but Olivia doesn't say anything. She just gives you the look. Stay set.
You can dislike each other all you like, as long as we work with each other and within the structure of my ship. Will you come with us?
I mean, yeah, I guess I got nowhere else to go.
Well, then hopefully you'll find a purpose. I know, Kenzo, you're coming aboard.
He nods.
And, well, Bugabud's coming along too, I assume.
Where he goes, I go, and where I go, he goes.
What about Lesha?
Right, she went to the ship already, bub. She went to the ship before we entered the dungeon. We
And the
sent her
new
there.
merchant?
She,
Well, we had to
she's
get
traveling
through the
with y'all.
dungeon to get to the ship. She's with us.
Oh, then she's with us then. We told her to stay back or something like that. I don't remember exactly what we said, but
She's been with us. She's just, she's just been a third wheel.
Well, Lesha needs to make a decision. After all, anyone aboarding my ship is either guest aboard my ship or part of the crew. It seems like most of you want to be part of the crew.
I thought you had hired me as part of your crew already.
And we've certainly had a merchant aboard our ship, which could be useful in an exploratory capacity. I'm definitely softening to that idea.
Make me a insight check. Anyone?
Or is this a group call?
how about a 10?
How about a 13?
It's
Yeah,
an 11.
any of those will work to realize Lesha wasn't with y'all before, but now she is. And
Just
looking
randomly caught up.
around, y'all are in the ruins of a temple.
Well, we did tell Lesha
and-
to stay back away from any conflict. Lesha might be a fighter, but she has another role.
Basically, y'all aren't in the domain anymore.
The yokai again.
And in front of you, there is a ruined statue.
I'll break away
Of
from the
what?
group and walk
Look-
toward that statue.
Yeah.
How much of that statue remains?
Probably about half of it. Some of it
Lesha.
from time, but you can tell that some of it is also from battle.
Lesha, what do you make of this? You're the archaeologist.
Yeah. It kind of looks like those figurines we saw in that one room. That Morgan lady that Miss Olivia said. You can see it in the that wispy tail like thing there. Even if the upper half of the statue is missing.
So,
It
Olivia,
looks like someone actually destroyed this statue.
was this Olivia? Was this this statue? Was it an avatar of Morgan? Is Morgan speaking to us through this ruined statue, perhaps? Like Meridia and Gerard spoke to me before?
My lady tasked me with bringing you to this statue for an audience. I believe it was the only way she could convene with all of you visually. Unfortunately, I cannot expect that we'll see her again anytime soon.
I
You do know that, but before your death, this statue was whole. It has been a year or so.
You'll see Olivia kind of place her hand against it and just silently pray.
Are the remainders of the statue, the shattered remnants, are they still here?
Yeah.
Rosea, come take a look at this.
Yeah, what?
Can you make out the weapons that might have destroyed this statue? Try not to touch the pieces. These things might be sacred. But at least from your examinations, what kind of weapons did this?
Insight?
Yes.
Well,
Hmm.
And while Rosea is examining, I'm going to ask Lesha. So, what kind of stone was this? There was a special kind of stone, an ore, being mined here. Is this statue similar to that ore that we've been finding?
No. Kind of looks like marble or whatnot. Though it a kind of a darker marble.
Hmm, I see. The reason I was questioning that is because, well, it might have been, at one point, that the essences of the world may be speaking through these statues. It has happened before, so I was looking for a connection, perhaps, between the ore that was mined here steadily and Morgan. Perhaps a holosphere that the speaker's crystal interacts with? It's hard to know.
Yeah. Not sure. Though, what was it? Wasn't it? Didn't she say, "Hey, that Morgan was death and life or something of the sort"?
Death and rebirth.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What if it was a statue like you said, resonating with an element? Wouldn't it be with a metal that symbolizes death or symbolizes rebirth? Not marble or something?
True, but there may have been other magical means that allowed. It could be this place, not merely the statue, but the structure of this entire ruin that allowed for it. We know too
Uh,
little about magic, as I look to Etesian for that answer. What do you think?
Well, if you wanna know anything about magic, I'm your alien. What if we're all magical? Maybe my giant bird will know. Hasn't proved to be a good conversationalist before, but doesn't hurt to try.
because you've
It
never
doesn't hurt to
tried
try.
talking.
What?
Only a
Tried talking to
Tishan
it.
could hear that.
Oh,
What?
Only I can hear that, really?
Hear
No,
what?
just a Tishan.
Oh,
Hear
okay,
what?
my bad.
That's a Tishan's
Oh,
the Arcanum.
yeah.
if
Hope
if
you
we
be
truly,
able to use handshake, but you never tried to talk back.
You know what? Something.
That's something else that I just thought of, Atesian. We've been encountering these things. We have the lead. We don't need to worry about Leviathan, and here's why. If we are the chosen, and we're being led to these essences, these arcanum, then we will automatically be able to rally more arcanum to our side than the demons can to theirs, regardless of how powerful they have. We will
Yeah, it's
simply have
true.
more, and we'll have them faster. It's all the more reason that we should stick to the original plan. And that plan is being buoyed aloft by the arcanum that support us and have supported the heroes of the past in time. Perhaps they're trying to gather new forces like the heroes of old. Perhaps this is why we've been chosen. Sometimes the simplest answer is the right one. Would anyone disagree? Alternate thoughts?
Heroes of
Or
the
maybe the
Past
spirits
sounds.
are just toying with us.
Heroes of the
That's
Past
also,
sounds familiar.
that's also possible. So regardless of how we're being tested, then we need to show our best, even if the world is trying to manipulate us for its own or even for a mutual gain. We need to be cautious. I agree. No offense,
Also, also Rosea, to finally answer the question of what weapon was used to destroy this statue. You're pretty sure it was like spiked mace.
It was a spiked mace that destroyed the statue.
Does anyone remember a particular enemy that we fought that wielded that as their main weapon?
Yeah, Noctis Brutalis.
Who's that?
Couldn't help it. I couldn't help it.
Yeah. If y'all can't remember, y'all can make an insight to try to remember.
I vote Kenzo gets -1 Fabula points.
Um,
Well, then we move on knowing what we have, unless we can remember what type of weapon what
11.
type of enemy this could have been.
Yeah, kids. So you recall not because the spike mace, but because of what happened during that time. Because you got put right into the ground before him with just a movement of his finger.
Gerard?
It was the guy with my brother. I don't remember who that was.
Gestalt?
Yeah,
That-
the
Yes.
demon.
That's the demon, the big demon guy who
Yeah.
made the barter for the speaker's crystal.
Yeah, he wielded it himself a rather large spiked mace.
The demon had the mace.
Demon
Therefore,
where?
Gestalt is us.
So that guy at some point came here and smashed the statue? But why?
To try to prevent Morgan's influence from being stronger than it currently is. Those that they cannot control, they destroy, or they attempt to destroy. It's the classic tactic of tyranny.
Such a shame. Had he known about me, he might have succeeded.
Well, it's a good thing that Morgan is the essence of death and rebirth. Not so easily destroyed, this one. I think that we should search the room. Search one more time for the remainder of clues. We've just reappeared here. I think that we need to gather ourselves and continue through this place as if, well, as if our mission depended upon it. I begin to
You're
search
welcome.
the
Oh,
edges of the room.
you're welcome to do as you please, but I ask that you remain respectful, at least for this chief.
Agreed. No one touch the pieces of the statue. They should lay where they are until much greater magics or a much greater expert can come here to repair it with the proper respect.
Hesson, I'd like to make a perception check to search for demons.
All right, give me an insight willpower check.
Okay.
I will support that. That's a good idea.
7. I look at myself too. Do I see a demon?
You see metal
Oh,
of your
You
armor.
said insight perception?
insight willpower.
Oh, insight willpower. I'm sorry, I misheard.
Now you're supposed to tell me if I see a demon. I'm looking at myself.
Yeah, you looked at your self. You saw metal
Not
of your
gonna
armor.
tell me, huh?
Yeah.
I look at
I'm
my
pacing
skin.
more than anything, just to give the rest of my people time. I'm not noticing anything,
Yeah.
so I pace instead to give everyone else a little bit more time to collect themselves before we move on.
Yeah, your skin seems to be made of skin.
Okay.
It hurts when you pinch yourself.
If there's nothing else to be learned here, then let's continue to the other side.
I'm gonna sigh and whisper under my breath. Whew, not a demon.
Doesn't really seem to be anything else here other than the cracked pieces of the statue. So
Then
I
let's
don't
resume our
believe
marching.
they would allow a demon to hide in such a place. But worth the search.
Yes. So now let's resume our marching order. Make sure that we protect Lesha and our new merchant. They need to be kept safe all the way to the ship. What are our exits?
Thank you.
What are our available exits?
Well, y'all were locked inside that temple for the past hour or two. Yeah, let's just kind of look around. We saw an entrance over that way. Seemed to lead through instead of the way going back.
Well, we certainly don't have anything to. I say we move forward. Rosea, you have lead.
I march forward. I like to picture Kenzo throws a rock at Olivia in spite, and Rosea just out of nowhere just presidential blocks it.
What does this new passage look like?
it seems to be a bit seems to be a bit of a road, kind of like when y'all first had entered the pass. And a little down the way, you see a fork in the road where one path leads into a caved-in area. So you could probably imagine that was the original path for people that didn't want to go past the temple itself. I mean, considering it was near lava and all that.
Hmm.
And there's the path leading onwards.
Well, let's at least search the rubble. Make sure that there's nothing trapped within.
Alrighty. Give me a might insight roll then.
Might insight.
I'll support you on that if you like.
All right. Well, go ahead. Can we group roll this?
Yeah.
I have D8, D8. Does anyone have better?
D10,
Oh.
D8.
D10, D8 did not do me anything, fortunately.
If it's might insight, then we're supporting Rosea.
Oh. That's a psychic
Oh.
damage from that roll. Oh my god.
Oh,
Wrong command.
I know.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Bad rolls all around.
hey.
Yeah, y'all are following around, be like, man, this rock is made of rock.
Yeah, they're just too heavy. Too heavy for us to move. It's up to you, Rosea. It's definitely up to you, Rosea.
It's Ken or it's Etesian.
Oh, Etesian. Yeah, Etesian might be the one.
2D8.
Could be.
2d8. Yeah.
Yep, could be.
Oh.
Are these rocks made of rock?
Are they too heavy to move? Hey,
Hey, you managed to move a couple rocks.
does
So
Rosea?
you
You're
alien
plus
word.
one.
Rose gets a +1.
Better than
Yep.
nothing. Let's see what happens.
Okay. I will Fabula point. What's the DC?
DC 10.
Fabula point my bond to Randall to make it a 12.
What?
Alrighty.
A level 3 bond? What?
Yeah.
Admiration, loyalty, and affection? I'm touched. You touch me again, we're gonna have a problem.
Or is one of those bonds mistrust?
Oh,
Hatred.
it could be. I don't know. It's complicated. All
That's
right, it's
Ro- that's Rosea's Facebook relationship status. It's complicated.
Yeah, you managed to start moving around some of the rocks in the cave in. You do uncover a small bag with about 100 zit in it, and before you kind of grab onto to a rock and start pulling before stopping as you hear a bit of rumbling coming from the wall.
okay. That's enough.
Yeah, you managed to stop yourself before you call all's worst cave in.
It's definitely time that we move on.
Yeah, no, we would not deal with that.
Then back to the main passage. Clearly a road out of this place. It's a good find. Good work.
It was so good to get out of this place. Between the heat and those trials. Ugh.
Well, we're not out of the woods yet.
It takes a bit. Yeah, but you do manage to come out the other side. But finally come to a set of doors that opens up to the other side of the Roval Pass.
Never thought that I'd be so glad to see sky again. Rest assured, someday soon, we'll be flying in it, aboard one of the best ships of the Ionian fleet.
Yeah, the sky above is it's a little dark. It's getting along into the evening time.
This might be a good place to make camp, and a good time to make camp as well.
We were in there for quite a while, and after what we just went through, I could really use some rest.
Mental rest, if nothing else. We've learned a lot today. Perhaps we should sleep on it, and we would come up with new insights. Then let's make camp.
So, Teaser, what do you remember? Be honest.
Hmm?
What do you remember? Be honest.
About what exactly?
About everything.
Oh,
About
God.
your origins.
Well, geez, as I said, I kind of have lost a lot of my memories. I don't remember how I got here. And that's concerning. Like, did I come here on a ship? Did I come here on great cosmic wings? I don't remember home. I mean, just feelings. I ever have feelings about when I think about it. Hard to explain, but it's like,
Oh, we lost Bingo there.
Yeah, we lost him temporarily.
oh my God, I had that whole beautiful dialogue.
I heard most of it.
Okay, good. Where'd he go? I wonder if I'll get to go back home. Wonder.
You ain't the only one who's worried whether or not they'll actually get a chance to go back.
You rest assured. If nothing else, you can make home aboard my ship for the time being. No matter where we go, there will be a place. There will be a place. As long as we fight for it.
It's true, but I have questions that I think only my homeworld will answer.
That's all the more reason that we need to defeat the demons so that we can approach Mysteria, find the answers together. I'm going to choose the camp activity of cartography. once before our next rest, after our groups make the travel roll, we can re-roll the dice, keep the new result. Since we're going back on the overland, this might be handy.
For mine, is there anyone here who's wanting for inventory points?
Kenzo? I have 5 of 8. I should be fine. I think it's Kenzo that's in need.
I'm fine. I have the large goodie bags.
I mean, if
I
no one
have
needs
3 of
inventory
6.
points,
Okay.
would you like to go on a little exploration with Briar then? To restock, potentially?
I'll go with you.
Sure, why not?
Give me that.
So is-
D6.
Alright, to confirm, is it Kenzo or Olivia that's going with her?
Who do you want?
I
to
can only
play?
take one.
Would Kenzo benefit more from having inventory points? I mean,
Oh, most definitely.
mine were spent on getting mind points back, so if that be the case, it's fine. Olivia going with Briar would just more be for roleplay than anything else. You're fine. You can take it.
My infusions go off of inventory points.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yep. Briar will just drag you out, not to go on a little exploration. Hey, that's a 6.
Yeah.
That means the target regains 3 inventory points and
Amount of Zent
And
equals your character level times 50.
that's
Why
13
you gotta make me
times
do math?
50.
Alright, I'll do the math for you.
Alright, I got it.
650.
I did the wrong command.
650 then.
Two. Boom.
Yeah, you two go off exploring. You find a kind of a small all ruin that you kind of look over, but find a chest in there with some supplies and a bag of 650 Zent. The supplies being the 3 inventory points.
I am up to 7.
Da 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 da.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah, you'll have yourself a fun little time exploring those small ruins. It's just surface ruins, so not going into a dungeon or anything.
Yeah, no, we're not going back into it.
Roll for mimic. Nah.
Don't you dare.
Yeah.
I'll do the camp activity magic lesson. I will pull Randall aside. Be like, hey Randall, I want to give you this. And she hands you a little device. And you recognize it as like a portal. I explained to you, it's like a emergency heal device. You can use it once. And use it in case of emergency. And what it does, I can choose a single spell among those I know. Once before the next rest, the target may perform the spell action to cast the spell you choose. And my spell pays MP cost and form any magic chance as needed. And the spell I choose is heal. You got that, Randall?
I just took a pit stop. I missed all of it.
Okay, basically, I'm giving you a small device. I'm using my camp activity on you. You can cast the
Yeah.
heal spell once.
Oh, okay.
And I say,
Sneaky.
use this in case of emergency.
Yeah.
Once,
Emergency can come from us at
once
any time.
before the next rest.
Once before the next rest, yeah. But I'll just
Right.
keep spamming it until it gets used.
Besides, I wanted to talk to you about something. Away from the others.
Sure.
You do realize that once we get aboard ship, I'm going to have to act as captain. And once we arrive at Ionius, I'm going to have to act as a noble again.
Uh-huh. I'm not worried.
I'm concerned about what feelings you may be having for me.
I don't know. I said my piece and you didn't return the feelings, so it's kind of over with now, isn't it? That you see tears in my eyes.
Well, nothing's ever over. But I think you need to understand how difficult this would be. As a noble, I am part of a resource of the Von Kiev royal family. In order to keep the peace, I could be ordered to marry a different noble, or asked to marry another noblewoman of another country. And if that meant keeping the peace amongst many people, to have our voice in their court and to have their voice in ours, then
Wouldn't
we'd
you
have to
rather
think about
choose who you get to marry?
it's not the way that our royal family works. It is perhaps why my father and mother share separate beds now. But if it's for the good of the kingdom, and it makes a better appearance and better alliances, then those people are more free and more safe to love as they wish for the sacrifices we make.
Do you like me at all?
Randall's head drops, chest. If I told you the truth, would it hurt you? If I told you the lie, would it hurt you more?
I want to hear the truth. Do you have feelings for me or not?
Yes.
No?
Against everything that is duty, against everything that is honor, against everything that I wish to do, might be asked to do.
Well, then that's all that should matter, right? Like, I mean, even if you have to marry some old hag across the sea, I can be your mistress, right? And I bat my eyes at you.
I look back, gawking in shock.
Make me your love slave.
That ends that scene.
I guess Randall's just speechless after that. Doesn't know what to do or what to say.
I give you a kiss on the cheek and I say, think about it, and then the scene fades to black. Yeah, the French royals had mistresses like out in the open and shit. That's where I got that from.
King Henry VIII had how many women?
Yeah, seriously.
He had women while he had women.
Yeah.
But Randall walks away because he has to. He admitted that he does have feelings for Rosea because he has to. And now he walks away from the camp because he has to. As the slopes of the mountains glide toward the river. He looks up beyond them and into the branches of the manna tree stretching across the sky. Why would you have me do this? There's so many things that are so much more important than what I want. It's always been that way. I do these things out of obligation, out of duty, out of honor for so many others. When do I get to have something that isn't shaken by the needs and the duties of others? When do I get to be me? There is no answer.
Clarification question. Is there a mana tree that stretches across the sky?
Yeah, all those silver branches and such are from the mana tree.
It's like as if the Milky Way was there, but it's the wispy.
Oh, I missed
Yeah.
that detail.
Yeah, the branches have grown to try to encase the entire world, basically.
Okay. So instead of stars when you look up, we see branches?
We see
I mean,
the stars through the wisps.
Yeah, you still see stars through the branches, but they're still the branches in the sky.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Wait till you learn the truth. I mean, what?
I look Artesian.
I was there when you had deeply personal conversation. Okay. Well, I remember just like saying like, "Oh, okay." Yeah. Yeah.
So
No,
what
you
kind
weren't
of
there. He's coming to you after.
Oh, okay, good. Like, it'd be awkwardish.
Your kind is beyond the stars, yes?
Yeah, as far as I know, yeah, I'm an alien.
And your kind comes from the mana tree itself.
Right.
Since we've learned the origin of the mana tree in this place, and it's possible now. The Exarch of Ionia has asked this question for a long time. And if there's anyone that you need to be concerned with, it's him. He searched for an answer as to whether there's anything else out there. And now we know. Now we know for certain.
Glad I could help, I guess.
Well, I certainly won't be introducing you to the Exarch, at least not right away.
Well, I think
You're too valuable to us as a member of our crew. And you may be able to unlock the secrets of the mana tree. That's why we need to keep you in disguise, perhaps.
do my best.
It's a good thing that you have your condition, so that at least you can play a different part than the one that you were given by the world or even by your people. I'm glad that you get the opportunity to choose.
Like
to choose your own wish.
I suppose. See it that way.
You might be the key to everything at the end of it. I hope that when your memories come back to you, if they do, that you think of us as who we are and not what we are. We limit ourselves sometimes. Sometimes we have to. I hope you understand.
I do. I do.
If you have any issues or problems with anyone in our adventuring party or anyone in my crew, come and see me.
I will. Well, you already know for it. You know.
Well, I'm going to have a lot more authority amongst the dozens of creatures on board that ship than I will over anyone here. It's not the sort of authority that I want, really. I just want to make sure that my ship and my crew and our methods are safe. After all, we're going to sail the skies. One misstep could send us plunging to the ground. It's the entire world against us, and we're a tiny dot in the sky. We need to make sure that that ship is the most precious thing that we have. Because without it, well, we're victims of the elements. I hope you understand that too.
I do.
I'm glad you're with us. You've been a strange, mysterious, and distant presence. Now that we know more of you, and since the world has chosen us to be together, you have an important part to play. Never be afraid to raise your opinions around us. After all, these may be memories coming back to you, and we may need them. If the Exarch responds well, then you might make a certain lifelong dream true for someone else just by existing.
Wasn't a storm.
The world's a strange place. I walk away from Ephesians, letting her think about the places that she might yet hold.
But anyone else doing anything for the evening?
Oh yeah, I can definitely do something. Are you telling me we're officially out of that dungeon?
Yes.
Okay. I have something then. So as we'll do it as Kenzo gets back to camp. He continues to tinker with something here. And he has finally finished it. Alright. Upload. My mad
I don't like
scientist
that at
vibes are
all.
coming out.
Oh no. Brother is now a cyborg ninja. Oh no.
My armor's done then.
Oh no, he's hot. There we go.
Oh no, he's hot!
My armor is officially done then, and that means I have my ultimate.
You know what? I'm gonna go up to Kenzo and take a look at this armor. Does it have a holosphere slot?
It
looks
does,
like
but it
it
doesn't
does.
have one right now. The only one it has is the one powering it.
Well then, I'll reach up to my combat tunic and undo the. Well, I can undo this. We can undo this, right? We can undo these and swap them like we can in other JRPGs.
Hmm?
We can undo the holospheres in the slots of our equipment and swap them around during rests like this.
Yeah.
In which case, I'll pluck it right out of my combat tunic and offer it to him. We're headed for Ionius. You may need this. Protection against the cold. Ice specifically. Our kind are used to the cold. You may not be. What do you say?
I am pulling it up here. So I want to show everyone. So this is the boost I get for it.
Damn.
So the armor now gives me plus 2 defense for both magic and regular. However, when I use the ultimate, I trade all the defense for an offense. I get 10 MP and 4 IP, which is enough to do one of my ultimate attacks.
Yeah.
Well, if
Or
you're
to do one of the alchemy bombs. That's the idea, is it gives me range between the ultimate attack and an alchemy bomb.
well, Kenzo, where we're going, there are significant monsters of sea, of sky, and of ice. This defense may help you complete your armor should we run into trouble.
And
Take
since
it.
you're giving me the ice core there, I'm going to say resistant to ice, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Resistant ice by ice hollow sphere.
The Arctic holosphere is exactly what it's called.
Okay, I'm going to change that.
And I'll remove it from my combat tunic. Leaves me room for something else.
I have waited like 4 sessions for this.
I'll consider it a useful tool for now. Rosea and I are more used to the cold, but it may be beneficial in case we fight monsters of water or ice. That's pretty common around our cliffs, our cliff kingdom, and the assorted islands and inlets that surround it. When we arrive there, though, by the time that we return, the first days of spring should be happening. That also means the great thaw. When we arrive there, you're going to see incredible waterfalls crashing off the sides of those cliffs as the long snow melt ends. It's quite a spectacular sight. Especially when the sun hits it just right. It could seem like dazzling diamonds falling over a cliffside, or fire, depending on how the sun lies. Some of our famous paintings are of some of the larger waterfalls. It's difficult to know which waterfall is going to spawn this year. I doubt we'll have time to find out. If we're lucky, we'll get to visit the Eyrie, on the grazelands to the west. When the goat herders and their goats climb the cliff faces to
Tell me,
graze.
does your airship have a forge?
A forge? Well, we certainly have a workshop, if that counts. And it can forge small things, after all. Sometimes we need to resupply.
Sounds like you need a forge. I'm gonna turn to Lesha and be like, "Do you want to build a forge?"
Well, I mean, if the captain will allow it.
Well, you'll have to talk to Zax first. Zax is our chief engineer, and he's in control of the power flows about the entire ship. After all, we have to maintain our combat capability. Using or having power redirected to the forge, I don't know whether he's going to like that. He's pretty picky. But I'll talk.
Well, if your engine runs hot, then we could probably figure out a heat sinking thing to divert into the forge, which would allow it to run a bit easier.
Well, that's a conversation you'll have to have with him. After all, the Shooting Star is outfitted with some of the finest, well, some of the most sophisticated magitech there is. So Zax is constantly at work making sure that everything's balanced. The forge might upset things. I'll have to talk to him. But I'll do my best.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm sure if he's a wise man, like you say, I could be able to talk to him myself. Do you want one of these? He starts like strutting in his armor a little bit.
What, on armor? Oh no, I can't wear that type of armor. It would interfere with the abilities that I have. We Skylancers need to stay light on our feet, especially if we're going to be throwing our bodies around from one place to another, aboard ship, or well, one of the reasons that we have this soaring strike commonly taught to officers in case one of us gets blown overboard. It could
Do you
save
have an extra?
save our lives.
Do you have an extra spear by chance?
I do actually, but it is also my official sphere of captaincy. I'd have to give you Wormtooth, really. And since we're out of the dungeon, I may not actually need that anymore. But it is a symbol of Meridia, so I wouldn't want to discard that so quickly. After all, we returned Gerard's spear to where it belonged, and I have the feeling that returning these spears one by one to the places where they belong may be of some benefit to us, or at least respectful to those forces that have given us their favor. It's only right.
May I see your spear just for a moment?
Which one?
The one you're currently wielding.
Wormtooth. I'll handle it with great care. This was given to me by Meridia herself. And it may
He
be
pulls out a tape measure and starts measuring it. And DM, I want you to know that I'm taking the measurements down of the spear.
Okay.
of Wormtooth. Would you like to take measurements of my formal Skylancer spear as well?
Which spear do you prefer?
Well, obviously, in most cases, it's going to be the one that I use for my official office. After all, the infusions, my infusions are different than yours. They have come from these ancient heroes, the original chosen or the previous chosen, and I can wield them, each one of them, through my official sphere as if I was taught. I bring out the aerosphere and explain further. The Skylancers are typically taught either air or sea or both. I was schooled in other things as well, being a member of the Exploratory Corps, so I didn't get as many elements as say, Malachi Hutza had. Now I've surpassed him. And I gently hand over the aerosphere.
And I take that one, just like I would a sword, and I start measuring it out as well.
You're not thinking of creating a spear yourself, are you?
And he looks like a deer in headlights looking up at you, almost like a kid getting caught on Christmas morning.
Well, before you even consider that, you might want to talk to the Queen. After all, she's designed much of our Magitech technology, including the aerosphere for the Skylancers.
But the trip to your homeworld is going to take a while. I will need a project
Ah,
in the meantime.
interesting. As I gently take the aerosphere back from him, along with Wormtooth, because he's getting a little wide-eyed. So I'm going to take both of those spheres off of him, and I give the aerosphere a little twirl, and I plunk the haft of the weapon into the dirt, and I say, "Well, what exactly are you planning?"
And immediately he goes to scribbling down notes.
I'll leave you to that then.
Yes. I'm sorry. And he looks up and then looks back down and goes back to his notes.
Well, the only person I haven't talked to yet is Briar, Rosewood.
I think I'm gonna say, I don't know if you want me to spend a Fabula point for this, but I'm thinking she's not in the campsite. She has actually wandered off because she tried to fall asleep, but wasn't exactly having an easy time doing so.
Well, now I'm going to search. Has anyone seen Briar? Briar's missing.
Where's
Would
Briar?
Olivia have noticed her wander off? Because I am kind of just on the lookout.
She's not exactly being subtle about it. I'll say that you would have seen her.
Well,
Sorry.
and also considering your obsession with Bugabud,
This is true.
Yeah, you would have seen her and Bugabud wander off from the camp.
But I'm gonna say Olivia will just point in the direction she wandered off to. As she climbs onto her feet.
I'm going to go get Rosea. Rosea, get up.
What's going on?
One of our party members has left the camp. We need to go find Briar. She's wandered off.
Huh? Okay. I get up,
Gather
put on
your
my
shield.
armor.
Well, yeah, I paused for a moment because I was about to ask, do you need help with that? And realized that the worst possible thing I can do right now. It's time to get out of this tent.
Yeah, no, Rosea's worried about Briar. She hurries, puts her armor on, and gets her shield on. Takes like 5 minutes, and then I asked Randall, "Do you have that device I gave you?"
Yes. And you say that this will allow me to perform a heal in combat?
Yeah, use it in emergencies. It'll only work once though, but you have to channel some of your spirit energy into it. What you
I
use
see.
for your soaring strike and whatnot. It's the same concept.
So I'll have to balance my tactics.
Yeah.
I see. Olivia said that Briar was this way.
Yeah, and how heal works, you can focus on one person or you can focus on up to 3 people. And it will cost more spirit energy depending on how many people you focus on.
I see. So this could save much of our party if we're in dire need.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Of course.
This might help us survive to the next location. I'll be keeping my eyes out as we resume over down the hillside. We might be able to find something along the way. We should fan out a little bit. Find out where Briar went.
Look for Briar. Is this a check?
Do you want them to make a check to find me? I'm not really sure. I
I
didn't
want to
exactly
spend a
plan for Fire
Fabula
to
point
go up
to
that
say
far.
you're in trouble and we have to bail you out of combat.
Ian?
Three.
Hmm.
I don't know. Might not have enough time for a combat though. There's no way we
Yeah,
can go.
probably won't have time for combat. Also, aren't y'all kind of y'all have not healed yet? So
Didn't we go to sleep? I thought we were. This is the morning.
no, this is still the same night.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's
Well,
why.
okay.
That's
I
why
am still
I,
mostly
I,
at
I,
full
I mean,
HP.
if you want to put yourselves in potential danger,
We could do
Yeah,
it.
no, we're gonna find Briar first. Find Briar first.
yeah.
Do
How
we
long,
find her,
how
or
long
do
was
we
I
need to roll?
asleep for?
Yeah, I'll say it like, because I don't think Briar's like intentionally hiding, unless she
Oh,
is.
No, she's just off somewhere battling her thoughts while trying to relax because she's having trouble sleeping.
Yeah, so I'd say an easy check, DC 7.
What
okay.
attributes?
Uh,
What is survival check in Fabula?
uh, we'll go with Insight Dex.
Ooh,
Should be Randall then.
I got you. I got you. You both got it.
Oh shit.
Briar, there you are.
You see that she's sitting in the middle of a small patch of grass and flowers near a cliffside, with Bugabud kind of roaming about aimlessly while she just
Oh,
kind of sits there.
I'll rustle myself down in the grass beside her. Are you all right?
I was having trouble sleeping.
Well, I've had that problem recently too, for varying reasons. Sometimes you just have to think things through. I wanted to talk to you about Bugabud, actually.
What about him?
Well, Bugabud has the ability to learn creature attacks, right?
Well, yes and no, I suppose.
Hmm.
I'm not really sure how best to describe it, since even my master was a bit vague on the topic, or maybe he was detailed and I just wasn't paying attention. But it often feels like Bugabud can be a. It kind of feels like a conduit, if that's, if I'm using the right word. Almost like I can, almost like his magic has had some sort of effect on me
Well, I hope it doesn't
that I
bother you.
can't explain. Not a bad thing by any means. I just not really sure what to make of it yet. Of course, I have. He has been with me since he was a baby, so maybe it's just some long-term exposure effect.
Well, we're about to move into a different area, a different biome, quite probably the sky. So, I'm just saying that if you have the ability to control what Bugabug learns and what he uses, we might want to make sure that Bugabug has an ability that contains different kinds of elemental abilities. That way we can more usually and we can more consistently apply them against the foes we might face.
If it helps, I I feel like I've had a bit more of a, be the right word for it. I, I feel things in nature and natural
Mm.
environments that I didn't feel before.
What things?
I magic things. I think it's like
What?
I can almost feel it like trying to connect with me in some way, but it's not that clear yet.
Hmm. You mean the creatures and the living objects of your surroundings?
It's a bit more than that. Feels like both the creatures and the land sometimes.
Hmm. I can certainly relate to that. When we went through the first town that we landed in, before we found you, the call of the earth and what led me to Gerard was very unusual to me. Didn't make sense at first. Now that I've discovered that these are ancient heroes of the previous chosen that the world chose their quests and that their powers are being passed down to me, that makes a lot more sense now. You may want to consider that perhaps there's something within this world that is leading you to these places, just like it's leading us to ours. There may be more to your story that the world simply hasn't told you yet.
Those the Arcanum did say something similar. A lot of what they said I've been trying to stew on and just can't make sense of most of it.
Well, I'm still not making sense of this chosen connection. I'm sure that there's more to be told. I have confidence in you. I believe that you'll choose the right things. Just wanted to make sure that you were alert for new types of abilities that might present themselves to you and the enemies that we fight.
Uh,
I
At this
believe that we're
point, I
all.
think at this point my confidence levels are slightly in question, though you probably gathered that just from seeing how I was after my trial.
Well, considering how well you performed and were ready to perform against Gestalt himself, I think you've got more strength than you believe.
That's something I'm still trying to determine from myself and figure out for myself. I think
Well, as I get to my feet, you did well before and under pressure and against your doubts. And if you're capable of doing that, then you can overcome anything.
I hope you're right, Captain.
Well, being a captain means I'm also, on occasion, a pretty good judge of character. That goes for you too, Bugabud.
Bug coming up and drops a bunch of like half-eaten flowers and grass into Briar's lap.
You're, you're a good boy,
Bugbud,
Bugabud.
Bugbud, you know I can't eat this stuff. At least not the same way you can. I know, I said I was feeling a connection to nature, but I don't think eating a bunch of chewed up grass and flowers is going to do much for that.
But
I
just
appreciate the
some
effort,
sort of
though.
shrug and just grabs one of the flowers, just kind of shoves it into his mouth, starts to munch.
Well, let's get back to camp so that we can start the watch schedule. After all, we need our rest before we start down the other side of the volcano. It's
Yeah,
going to be a long trip.
hopefully I can piece some of these thoughts together and stop being all over the place.
Well, it all comes from what you are, but you determine who you are. I can't say that enough. We're all facing those doubts right now. And now we're being put on a journey of self-discovery. Discovery without, discovery within. Oftentimes, when you come upon something great and you see an awesome sight in nature that no one else has laid eyes on, it changes you. The sea changes me. The sky changes me. It can change the attitude of an entire crew. Life is like that. Sometimes your surroundings were meant for you. Sometimes you were meant for them. Serendipity of a kind.
Kind of makes me think back on when I first met Bugabud and my master. It's like a whole new world was opened up to me that my village had made me believe wasn't there.
Spoken like an explorer.
Oh, trust me, I've got plenty of answers for him too when we get back.
You'll just
Yeah, I
drop down
imagine
into
you're.
your lap.
Yeah, I'm getting tired too, bud. Maybe this time we'll actually be able to get some sleep.
I'm gonna pull out a treat and put it in a hand and say, Bugabug, which hand? And I left or right? It's still fair. You can spell it. I give him the treat.
Well, his nose can pick up things on almost a magical level. You're gonna have to try a little harder.
Well, you earned the treat, Bugabug. Let's go. We have to go to sleep now, okay?
Yeah, come on, bud.
And we head back to camp. And I undress again in the tent and go to bed.
Oh, well, who's taking first watch then?
I'll go take first watch.
Olivia's
I'll
just
take
going to sit back in the guarding position she was already in.
Well, I'll take
Kenjo,
second.
Kenzo is sitting there and he has his armor before him and the crimson gloves out, and he's taking them apart.
Constantly tinkering? Might want to pay attention to the edge of the camp. You never know.
I'm not worried. I still have my sword.
Well, rouse the rest of us first so that we can rally to the defense. I'm going to go get some sleep.
It should be a quiet night.
I hope so. Good night, Kenzo.
Good night, Fred. Sleep well.
I'll try.
But now, questions, DM, is it gonna be an uneventful night?
Let's find out.
Don't ever question. Don't ever ask the DM. Crazy.
Kenzo, give me an insight at a -3.
Yeah.
Olivia, you can make it at regular.
Sure, you said it was insight?
Insight.
You know what? I will spend a Fabula point to re-roll the 1.
Okay.
Hang on, looking for it. There. Thank you. That's what I was going to do. I'll take it.
All right. So your total is 9.
I'll take a 9. Higher than a 4.
Yeah,
And it beats
Olivia,
the
you're watching Briar and Bugabud, mainly Bugabud.
That's not right. She was praying before, but I imagine with them.
Yeah. At one point during your watch again, so you do manage to look up from your tinkering with stuff. To catch a raccoon scurrying away with a handful of berries.
Yeah. I'm gonna do it.
What are you going to do to that raccoon?
I pull out Hibickery.
What?
Hibickery. You remember what Hibickery was? Hibickery was the sword I found that turns into a flaming sword.
Yeah.
From Torianzo.
How much for the armor?
From the Kill Bill guy.
So I pull out the flaming sword and start waving it around at the raccoon.
Actually intimidating a poor raccoon.
Yeah, you think you're looking pretty intimidating. Although it's only after you've pulled out the sword and ignited it, and the raccoon is gone, that you realize the raccoon had its back to you. It was already going. It didn't see a thing.
It won't be back.
Yeah,
I've scared it off.
it already took a handful of berries.
Better not come back.
Truly a mighty warrior, protecting his friends from any foe.
I'll put the sword away, of course, and go back to my tinkering.
Next. Who's next?
I think you've just volunteered.
Oh yeah. Well, somebody's gonna wake me up because I'm obviously asleep, not paying attention, getting some shut eye.
You know what wakes you up? The
What
glow
does
of a
it?
flaming sword.
What? Put that thing away. You could burn
There
down
was
the
a
entire camp with
there was
that.
a varmint. It was here. It was stealing the berries. It was after my armor. I had to scare it off.
Oh yes, we were in quite a great amount of danger.
It was
That
the
raccoon could
yokai
have
again.
slain us all in our
They're
sleep.
behind this. The
Surely.
yokai are after us.
Oh,
He's a little tired.
keep your voices down. Everyone else is trying to sleep. Let me go on watch. I'll take care of the next few hours. I'll guard the berries from this villain.
Wicked, I tell you. It had evil in its eyes, and the claws and the teeth were out, and it was stealing the berries like a little gremlin.
Olivia will just kind of whisper to Randall. I believe your friend may be a bit deranged. Is he okay?
Well, all of those chemicals that he fools around with the alchemy. Who knows?
Drugs. He's on drugs.
Drugged out Cyber
Yeah,
Samurai.
you should try this nice new potion. It'll give you so much energy. What's it called? I call it cocaine. It also makes a nice drink.
Sweet skooma.
Hay sits against the tent and
You
kind
wanna
of just
buy
like
some?
starts to nod off.
You wanna buy some death sticks?
Meanwhile, I'm going to take watch. Insight, is that what you need?
Yes.
All
I hope
right.
it comes back and tortures you now.
Well, 7. Not so much. Well, if there's a small problem, there's a small problem that passes the easy check. I'll take it. A bit of adventure here and there to close things out tonight.
Yeah, you keep
Maybe.
yourself up a fairly vigilant watch.
After all,
Still,
I'm used to taking the watch.
you're still a little exhausted from the volcano.
Now, the heat sapped a lot out of me. At least we're free of that. I wonder how they'll handle the cold. I really should warn them. Then again, I'll have the to think of. I wonder how many of them have ever flown for an extended period of time. I'll have to take it easy on the banking. After all, we're not going to make too many turns as we head back toward Ionius, so that shouldn't be a problem. If nothing else happens, and my watch passes,
And you do catch a glimpse of a raccoon scurrying past.
No more
I'm gonna
berries.
follow that. I'm going to follow that little thing, at least with my eyes, until it scurries on by.
Yeah.
You've had your fill
The DM will
now.
remember this raccoon.
Now who's on
Hmm.
who's on third watch?
I guess that leaves
Temple.
me or
I
Rosea.
thought who was on second?
I'm on second. Who's on first? Third base.
Ooh. I'm gonna let's play alien baseball. There's 12 bases. And you gotta hop to each one. They're floating in the air.
Well, congratulations. You just got dragged out on third watch. Egan, you're up.
That's son of a bitch. We're gonna do it the alien way. I'm going to sleep.
Is that how you do your watch? You just wait until Randall goes to sleep, then go back to sleep yourself?
Yeah, guys, before you go to sleep, I just thought of something. You know what? I might have come to this planet illegally. No, I'm sure. I'm sure it was fine.
Well, you got to roll an insight. See what happens tonight on your watch.
Inside.
I feel like he's gonna get abducted by UFOs or something.
Oh,
2d8, eh? Yeah, because I'm a jack of all trades person.
FBI
Huh.
should look on his watch.
Abducted. Oh,
You too see the raccoon. As it
is the
does a
raccoon
scurry.
an alien?
Nope, just seems to be a normal raccoon. Just scurrying past the camp.
Oh, can I hunt it? I guess.
Yeah.
Whoa, what the fuck is that? It's coming. It, I have to scare off raccoons. So I throw a stone at it, I guess.
You throw a stone at it, and it scurries off into the forest.
Right, you better run, you son of a bitch. Come back.
And nothing else of note happens.
Good, I wasn't abducted by UFOs.
I guess like that, the morning comes.
And during this long rest, I'm going to say that I'm going to form a bond of admiration to Randall, as Briar's now
No.
really starting to look up to him.
Anyone else gonna form bonds or anything? Or strengthen any
I
bonds?
talk with the merchant. Can I restock IP?
Yeah, it will cost the 10 cent per IP though.
Okay.
So I guess everybody wakes up, starts packing up camp.
I have to eat breakfast first.
Yeah.
Morning already.
Yep. It is the morning.
How's the armor, Kenzo?
I'm still working on it.
Oh, great. I guess good work is never done, huh?
I'm improving it.
Well, obviously. I'd like to see what you do if you manage to get clearance. Everybody up and ready to go?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
do it.
Then let's see what the other
Away.
side of that mountain has for us.
All
And it
right, so
for
travel roll
travel.
time.
Yeah.
D8.
D8. Ooh. Okay. D8 it is. And I can re-roll that because of cartography. And I'm going to
Yeah.
do that.
All righty.
Need a 1 or a 2? No, not this time.
Nope.
Oh,
Unfortunately, that is a 6.
Yes, it is.
That means it's a danger.
Whoa.
Do we want to leave the danger for next session, or do we want to cut it off in the middle, or is it going to be a short one?
Cliffhanger.
I mean, we
Let
are sitting
me.
at 10:30 Zach's time, so
11. But we're closing in, yes.
I mean, our combats usually take over an hour.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty dynamic and cool. Dynamic.
Yeah. As y'all are, well, walking along, kind of going into a bit of a forested area, start to hear a buzzing in the air.
What kind of buzzing? Is it mechanical or is it like insect?
Insect. Rather large insects from those sounds.
Don't let it fool you. It's the raccoon again.
Kids, so give me an insight -2. was hoping it was going to be lower. So you say that, and you point in the direction that the buzzing is coming from, and a small swarm of monstrous bees head in your direction, and you realize, that doesn't look like a raccoon.
The raccoon has called in reinforcements.
I provoked the
And that,
bees.
and that will be where we will leave off then.
Any
Hey,
cutscenes?
Consider
Alright.
we only have about 30 more minutes.
Any cutscenes?
yeah, it's a good time for one of those. What's happening in the Cauldron Palace? What's happening in the Ionian Palace? Is Gestalt going to make an appearance here? Or Pretty Boy?
Pretty cool.
There was already an appearance by Pretty Boy. But you get some bees. You get some bees. You also get bees.
I'll have to pay attention and see if they have any spells, because last level I upgraded my Chimerist slot, so I've got one more left.
All right, let's see here. Scene. Alrighty. Yeah, I think I can do a small scene. Off in the ocean. A small ship is sailing through the waters. Board it. A man with red metallic skin and smiles at the twin witches on the deck of the ship. Before he turns to a communication device. We should be arriving at the shrine within the next few days. Hopefully this experiment goes very well. If we can do this, Gestalt, then we can finally fill the others. Very well, Damien. Do keep me apprised. I want to know the moment that you have results, be it positive or negative. This is only the first step. Of course, Lord Gestalt. And of course, I do believe that these two are wonderful subjects. Besides, they are quite fully loyal to me. I will let you know once we arrive. And with that, he turns the communication device off and looks down at the speaker's crystal in his hand. soon. Path to power will be in our hands. With that, the book shuts on this session of Saga of Sylvonia.